We're going to be starting a new sermon series this coming Sunday, April 18th, and we're going to be studying the book of Ezekiel. Ezekiel is considered to be one of the major prophets in the Old Testament, along with Isaiah and Jeremiah, and I suspect that most of you are not familiar with the book of Ezekiel and probably have not read it. So I thought I would do a series of single takes on the Old Testament because as I've talked with people, I find that for many, their knowledge of and enthusiasm for reading the Old Testament is not great. Now, this is unfortunate for a number of reasons, not the least being that it is part of the Christian scriptures and central to our understanding of our faith. So I hope that in these series of single takes, I can whet your appetite for reading the Old Testament and appreciating its importance in helping us to understand and follow Jesus. Let's begin with the name. Did you know that it didn't get the name Old Testament until probably around the mid-2nd century? So that means more than 100 years after Jesus' crucifixion and resurrection, it wasn't called the Old Testament. Do you know how the New Testament refers to the Old Testament? Scriptures. Yep. The New Testament refers to the Old Testament as Scripture. Paul writes in 2 Timothy 3:16, all Scripture is inspired by God and useful for teaching, for reproof, for correction, and for training in righteousness. Paul is referring to the Old Testament as Scripture. There was no New Testament at that point. So that verse applies to the Old Testament, what we call the Old Testament. A major problem with the adjective old in front of the Testament is that it makes it sound like it's antiquated and out of date. And that has nothing to do with the Christian faith. I think it's especially problematic in the modern era. You know, in the Roman world, when the Romans conquered Israel, the Romans had great respect for religions or philosophies that were ancient. And so when they conquered Israel, most Romans tended to be anti-Semitic. But because their religion was already thousands of years old, they allowed the Jews to practice their faith. However, in modernity, and especially with all of the technology we have, anything old for us is out of date and meant to be discarded. About a year ago, I purchased a new laptop computer because the one I had been using was 7 years old. 7 years old. That's like dinosaur, right? In terms of computer technology. So in our technological age, anything that is old needs to be not used and discarded. And so I think this attitude can transfer to our thinking about the Old Testament or anything that's old. One of my favorite Old Testament scholars is John Goldingay. He is the professor of Old Testament at Fuller Seminary. He prefers to call the Old Testament the First Testament. He writes, my enthusiasm for the pre-Christian scriptures makes me unenthusiastic about the Old Testament as a title for them, as it is inclined to suggest something out of date and inferior. I will usually refer to them as the First Testament. Actually, it's utterly up to date and hugely significant for Christian faith. I like his use of First Testament, and so I will refer to the Old Testament as the First Testament as well. When you think about it, the First Testament is approximately 3/4 of the Christian Bible. Here you have my Bible. This is the Old Testament. This is the New Testament. Without the First Testament, the story of Jesus would not make sense. The First Testament is either explicitly or implicitly in every single page of the New Testament. It's behind every page. And by the way, Jesus knew the First Testament backwards and forwards. He was steeped in it. He memorized it. When Jesus was tempted in the wilderness by the devil, 3 times he quoted the Old Testament to refute the temptation of the devil. In the Sermon on the Mount, in Matthew 5:17, he says, "Do not think that I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have not come to abolish, but to fulfill." Are there things difficult to understand, disturbing things to understand in the First Testament? For sure. But it is far better to wrestle with some of the difficult parts than just jettisoning the First Testament as out of date and antiquated. For in doing so, we severely limit our ability to understand the gospel. After all, it was Jesus' Bible.